Investors, welcome back to Green Money Momentum. I'm your host, Trevor, and today we are going to be talking all about DJT, Trump Media and Technology Group. And right now, I am seeing a lot of bearish sentiment online around this stock. First off, from individuals who will never invest in this company simply because they don't like our president, so they're not going to support his brand. And then I see others who are not a fan of the fundamentals with DJT. But myself, I have a contrarian viewpoint to all of that. I am bullish on this play. And so today I'm going to be giving the bullish case for DJT. Now, first, as always, this is not financial advice, so I always recommend doing your own due diligence before making any financial decisions. But starting off first with the technical analysis, looking at the chart, we could see that with DJT, things have been a bit disappointing this last year. So a bit hard for the bulls. We saw our most volume, momentum, and price action right before the elections. We did see ourselves run up all the way to the $50 mark before having a sharp drop right after that. We did see the momentum continue into the inauguration, but then after that, it was kicked down. And since the inauguration in January, there has only been bleeding within DJT. But I think what is really important about this is despite all the negative price action to the downside, there is still a large market cap in DJT. We still have a market cap all the way at $4.83 billion, which is incredible because what this tells me is there is still a lot of big institutions in DJT. We also know that there are a lot of politicians in DJT, and then the Trump family holds about 50% of the float within this company. So a lot of strong whales holding on to DJT right now. And I do believe that the value is soon going to be realized because I think what a lot of investors are missing on this company, they think of DJT just for the Truth Social platform where the president addresses the nation, but it is so much more than that. We have been covering this stock extensively over the last year, and the bigger part of the Trump Media and Technology Group is the side all around fintech and cryptocurrency. So they are becoming a true fintech services brand, and they have done so much with cryptocurrency this last year, introducing big crypto ETFs. And then also this company did just add $2 billion to their balance sheet this last quarter, which has to show up yet on their earnings reports. But what is very important is they are following the same exact strategy of what Michael Saylor and so many other companies are doing, which is adding crypto to their balance sheet, being a crypto treasury company. And with strategy recently, we saw their last earnings be their largest ever. As we could see here on their earnings per share, they had a massive jump up, the best the company has ever reported. And this is because they were able to officially put that Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And we could see what it has done for MSTR on their earnings. And so we have that potential with DJT, which is massive because with DJT, historically, their earnings have not been the best. Their biggest quarters coming in at just $1 million. So some will talk about the large market cap and the low revenue that they make, and they will say this is the reason to be bearish. But with DJT, the company, there has been a lot of building this last year, and the company really is forming all together right in front of our eyes. And so there has been so much development just this last year while President Trump has been in office. Most of this, again, around cryptocurrency, these big crypto ETFs, this massive amount of Bitcoin they have added to their balance sheet. And they are just following what DJT, Donald J. Trump, the president, is doing because he is pushing us more into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency every single day. We did see the big White House summit earlier in the year where they did announce that Bitcoin was going to stay in the reserves of the White House. Then we did see that big genius bill recently, and the Trump family has a ton of money within cryptocurrency, and DJT is his baby. So again, the Trump family holds about 50% of this float. Historically, historically, the numbers haven't been the greatest with DJT, but again, they have done so much most recently with all this cryptocurrency. And this last bit of the year, this last quarter of 2025 should be crazy because we did just get the rate cuts from the Fed, which is going to be massive for all risk assets and cryptocurrency. And so I do believe that we could see a big explosion in DJT soon from that, their next earnings report, but also a lot do just look at this company as a meme stock. So it also does hold potential for that if the meme stocks all start to rally, or if there's any big news around the president that gets this pushing, which there may be, because recently there was some discussions with the United States buying TikTok. So could you imagine if Trump Media and Technology Group is who does buy TikTok? That will be huge. And in general, like I say, we're talking about the cryptocurrency side of things, but when it comes to just media, well, if they do buy TikTok, that will be massive. But also just talking about media in general, we did see Jimmy Kimmel recently get canceled. And whether you agree with this take or not, the bigger picture behind this is we may be turning more to a time frame, more around conservative ran media. And so if that is the case, Trump Media and Technology Group could easily lead that movement. And so I think there's a big bull case behind DJT. And currently, while the stock is under $20, I think that this is a great entry point for anyone who wants to add to their DJT, or for anybody who is investing for the first time, because a lot of asymmetrical return in this play and just a little bit of risk. Because when we do look at the history of this chart, we are basically at the all-time support in this company. So not a lot further we could go down. With everything that this company has done this last year, I believe that this stock is still very undervalued. So I'm very bullish on DJT. And I mean, look, just look at the last year in November leading up to the elections, how much of a run up there was there. That was before everything happened this last year. So we got to remember, this is a relatively new company, and new companies need time to develop and form. And well, they have done all the back end work of making all these deals and doing that this last year. Now we just need to see the company start to reap those benefits, and for us investors to also reap those benefits. Also, on Friday, the trading session was actually pretty decent. We did see a 3% jump at the end of the day, with DJT having a rise. So a nice volatile tick towards the upside. But for all my DJT investors, you know that this happens quite a bit. We'll have some nice run-ups and then fall right back down. So we have been in these channels that have been under $20 for some time. I think that these are all great buying opportunities, and the 200-day moving average sits right around $25 to $26. So I do believe that we will get back to that point. Of course, I believe that we could run a lot higher than just 25 to 26 as well, but I do want to see DJT get back to that 200-day moving average. But overall, I am very excited about the markets. I am very excited about DJT, and I would be curious to hear what you all think in the comment section below. So please drop a comment. Please let me know if you are invested into DJT. Please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.